You know what the big worry leading into WWE Payback 2017 was? None of us knew what a House of Horrors match was. So we all sat there and we moaned and we complained saying, what's a House of Horrors match? Why has nobody told us what a House of Horrors match is? Well, now we know what a House of Horrors match is. I'd rather not know. But I am Simon from WhatCulture and you're tuned in to Ups and Downs from Payback. We're going to go through the show and we're going to give the good bits an up and we're going to give the bad bits a down. And I'm a positive so-and-so. That show had a lot of downs on it. So we're just going to do this. This could be a bumpy ride. Let's ups and downs. So let's start with the match we've already mentioned, which was the House of Horrors match between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. And as you've probably already figured out, it's getting a down. Now for starters, none of it made any sense because they were in some weird shack at night time, even though it was still day when the event was going on. And also, it was like some cheap, crappy horror film that if you were watching on Netflix, you'd go, I'm not watching this, I'm turning it off. And why, oh why, did Bray Wyatt keep teleporting around the place? The whole point is you're there to try and beat Randy Orton. You proposed this match, you put it together, but now you're like, screw it. I'm just gonna teleport from room to room and freak him out. It's not a freak out Randy Orton match. It's a beat Randy Orton in the House of Horrors match. Why is Randy Orton topless in his limo when he pulls up? What was this? And who was this for? And who enjoyed it? And what's going on? Breathe. Right, I've calmed down. Then it got even worse because Randy Orton had like a fridge dropped on him, a fridge that apparently Bray Wyatt had spent time graffitiing too, saying we're here. That made no sense. But then when they got to the arena, because for some reason apparently it had to end in the ring, there was no fridge. Just to top the whole thing off, Jinder Mahal and the Bollywood Boys, who apparently aren't called the Bollywood Boys anymore, came out. Jinder smashed Randy Orton in the face with the title he stole, and Bray Wyatt won. Good grief. I mean, good grief. This has been a bad feud. I'm really sorry, Bray and Randy. This has been terrible. However, what is getting an up is the main event between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, because to be honest, I think they did everything they had to do. So up. Nothing here really was out of the ordinary. Roman sold his injuries from the other week constantly, and Braun just kicked the crap out of him. Now, apparently in this match, Strowman did come a boss from Gears of War, where he just kept running at Roman, and Roman would dodge, and then Braun would hit something, and that's how you slowly get his health bar down. But you know what? It was fun, and Braun won. And not only did Braun win, but he pretty much won clean. What really made me happy as well is that Braun hit his finishing move, the power slam, or the running power slam, whatever you want to call it, on Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns kicked out, so Braun went, all right, fine, I'm going to do it again. More wrestlers should do that. How many times do we see a finishing move get hit and a wrestler goes, I'm so shocked. What do I do? Hit the best move in your arsenal again. So that was a good finish. I liked all of this, and the right guy won, and the crowd were into it. Great stuff, to be honest. Really good. And then there was some secret level afterwards, if you're watching the WWE Network, where Braun and Roman just kept fighting each other. So yeah, fine, dandy. I want to see what's next. I would guess an ambulance match or a stretcher match. Nah. Let's stick with another up for now, because the match between Austin Aries and Neville, as we thought, for the Cruiserweight Championship, was fantastic. Both men are super talented, both men know what they're doing, and both men have saved that Cruiserweight division from being absolute pants. Now we can argue the finish till the cows come home. I actually thought it was alright. Aries had Neville in a submission hold, and rather than tap, he just kind of attacked the referee, which means he got DQ'd. It means the feud can continue. I'm alright with it. I got no problems with it. I think they're really good. I think they deserve a bigger spotlight. I'm happy to see them fight again. It's 2 thumbs up. I've only got 2. Could put my pinkies up as well, but I'm kind of doing some weird surfer pose from the 80s. But it's back to the downs we go, because Bayley and Alexa Bliss ended with the champ being beaten in her hometown. That is a down. The real reason it gets a down is because this was the most over Bayley has been in weeks. And to be honest, the booking of Bayley on the main roster has been poor. So why didn't somebody backstage in WWE think to themselves, you know what? Our babyface champion is beloved right now. Maybe we should let her win, and then she'll be even more beloved. And maybe that belovedness will then eke out of these people and go to other people in crowds that aren't in her hometown. Didn't do that. Alexa Bliss won, and while that did piss the crowd off, it also ruined their energy for the rest of the show. Although the House of Horrors match didn't help with that either. And I've got no problem with Alexa Bliss being the champion. I think in many ways, Alexa Bliss has got it all. She's pretty good in the ring, she can cut a promo, her character's great. But this wasn't the time to do it. When you've actually got some momentum in a show, why would you want to kill that off? I mean, it's because WWE won't let you win in your hometown. I don't know what that's all about. But, you know, I watch wrestling for feel-good moments, and there weren't really that many feel-good moments on this show. So it was silly. It was silly, WWE. Go to your room. Which brings us to the tag match between the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro. I don't really know what to give it. And I'm going to give it up because I find Matt and Jeff so entertaining, and I did enjoy the match. But, you know, there was still some weird bits in it. Namely, that Sheamus decided before this bout, man, I'm going to try and kill the Hardy boys. I'm going to stiff them real good. And he knocked one of Jeff's teeth out, and then he bloodied Matt after the match. The good thing is, though, after they did their sportsmanship handshakes again, Sheamus and Cesaro apparently went heel. And who predicted that on Raw Ups and Downs? Me, Simon from WhatCulture. So now I'm feeling all proud, and you know what? Maybe this is how we lead to all the broken stuff. I don't know how you do that, but there's seeds being planted here. The feud can continue. We got new bad guys. You know what? I take back the confusion at the start. This was a really good angle, aside from the actual hitting from the Irishman. But let's not worry about it. Take it back, good stuff, get to solid up. I'm perturbed again though, because if we're talking about Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins, I didn't feel anything towards it, which means I guess it has to get a down. Because if it doesn't make me emote and feel and have emotions, then it didn't do its job even though the match was fine. It's a down. And that's the weird thing about this feud. Even though Samoa Joe is great and Seth Rollins is great and the story's great, something is missing. It feels forced. It doesn't make sense. I don't mind that Seth Rollins won. I mean, it was kind of one of those out of nowhere victories, which means it doesn't really hurt either man. But still, where do you go from here? Basically, what they need to do on Raw from tomorrow night is really turn the heat up on this, turn up that pressure cooker to 12. Make me really think there's some animosity here, because Joe almost made Seth retire after hurting his knee again. And on the subject of that knee, I've never seen such weird selling of an injury in my life. Seth Rollins made sure to focus on it and go, oh, my knee, loads and loads. And then he was doing flippy shit off the top rope. You ain't gonna do that if your knee hurts, because your knee hurts, you want to protect that knee. That made no sense. And now we're at another down. I think this must be the most downs I've ever given to any WWE show ever, even though I still actually enjoyed it because I love wrestling. But yeah, Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. I have to give it a down because Kevin Owens lost. He's now lost the US title, and his whole Face of America gimmick now looks stupid. I don't even care that Chris Jericho's about to go back on tour on Fozzy. If you've got plans for this and you want to give the title to Chris Jericho even when he's out on tour, that's absolutely fine. If you're letting Brock Lesnar do it, why don't you let Chris Jericho do it, as long as long term the plans, the story and the narrative makes sense. That's all I care about, and Jericho is good enough that he deserves to be a champion. The issue is though, Kevin Owens is one of your top heels on SmackDown. You just introduced a new gimmick, he came out in new attire, and he lost. So what does he do on Tuesday now? How does he get his momentum back? What you could have done is kept that momentum going and maybe even have led him into a top level world title program, which a lot of us want to see. And the match itself was good and the finger stuff made sense and was entertaining. Owen kept using his finger to get to the ropes. Then Jericho worked on that finger and then eventually made Owen submit. I just don't get the finish. I don't get the ending. And now the direction of all of this, no words come out my mouth. So I don't understand it. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, WWE. I'll buy you a fruit basket. Finally, there was all that stuff on the pre-show with Big Cass and Enzo, the club, Finn Balor and The Miz. You didn't care. I didn't care. Nobody cares. Because stuff on the pre-show, for whatever reason, just it has no importance whatsoever, so it gets a down. And that was Payback. And I realise I've given it a lot of downs, but there was nothing there to really make it feel special or stand out or make me go, yes! It's WWE Payback 2017. And yeah, I did enjoy it. Because I can easily sit down on my sofa. Can't see, there's no sofa there. I don't know why I gestured. But I can sit down on my sofa and watch it on TV and be entertained for a few hours. But ultimately, aside from the main event, Braun and Roman, and I did like the Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro, but otherwise, we can just forget about all this all now. Move on till tomorrow. Now don't forget to let us know what you thought about Payback in the comments below. And then like, share and subscribe, and you can follow me on Twitter at SimonMiller316 and WhatCulture at WhatCulture WWE, and you can go visit WhatCulture at WhatCulture.com. I'm Simon from WhatCulture. This has been Ups and Downs, and I'll be back tomorrow talking about Raw.